Before I continue with the rest of this video, I need to make an announcement. I now have a Starbound server you can hang out on. Actually, two servers. Both are modded. One is SFW, and the other is NSFW, and has some things I can't really discuss here on YouTube. Head on over to my Discord for more details. I've been having a rough week, and I needed a quick video or a vlog idea to help me get back to normal. So I decided to dive into my Steam library and find something to talk about for a few minutes. While poking through random games and asking myself if I should dive into something like Terraria's Calamity mod, I remembered that I had this fun little gem that's been part of my backlog pretty much ever since it released. SkyIsland. This is another freebie Korean university student project game that you can find on Steam, and it released a couple months ago, February of 2023. For what it is, SkyIsland is amazing, incredibly fun, very enjoyable to play. It's also very short. Like, you can beat this in under an hour. Let's call it 40 to 50 minutes, if you blaze through all the dialogue and story. I'd be lying, though, if I said I could not see myself playing through a game that's much, much longer, which also uses this concept and these ideas. Then, there are the graphics. I mean, just look at this game. I know graphics aren't everything, but I'm not sure what to say other than SkyIsland looks amazingly good. Dare I say it, these graphics, the art style, and the world design are possibly the best parts about SkyIsland. And look at these little guys that you encounter throughout. These are the Puri, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, the SkyIsland's natives. I love them and want to hug them so bad. What I don't love is how weirdly unoptimized this game is. Weird because of the game's simplicity. In my experience, playing on high settings, which the game defaulted to, led to a very stuttery experience. Judging from Steam reviews, I'm not the only one who has complaints about the game's optimization, or lack thereof. For the record, I did not try any of the lower graphical settings. I imagine they would have worked better, but I still powered through on high, stutters and all. Despite the game's length, there is a story here. If you can get past all the major translation issues this game has, you learn that you play as Pino, a Pokemon protagonist, seriously, he looks like he came straight out of a Pokemon game to me, who, while flying his plane, got attacked by a monster named Homeros and crash-landed on the titular Sky Island. Well, one of the 4 Sky Islands, plural, called Epirus. Turns out, one of Pino's life goals was to visit the Sky Islands, since his granddad wanted to visit one last time, but couldn't. Now that Pino is stuck on the islands, he has to find a way to fix his plane and get off. Oh, and kill Homeros while he's at it. Homeros is causing the Sky Islands to fall back to Earth, you see, and he must be stopped. To do that, you gotta go all over the 4 Sky Islands, spring-themed Epirus, summer-themed Io, autumn-themed Thessaly, and winter-themed Crete, before you go through a talking door into Homeros' cave where you defeat Homeros. That's it. Much like the rest of the game, SkyIsland's story is simple, short, and kinda cute. I was into it despite all the major translation issues. I get that the developers are Korean, but seeing things like Adventure, new line, result was pretty jarring to me. And there were a couple parts of the game with no translation, just the original Korean. At the end of the day, though, I cannot be too harsh on SkyIsland. Again, this was a student project for a university, and I can tell that there was plenty of love, effort, and talent that went into this. That's not to say I don't have any complaints or negatives aside from the translation issues, just that I feel like I shouldn't squash the hopes and dreams of those who made this game by bashing it endlessly. Besides, there's more good than bad in SkyIsland. The graphics kinda speak for that, but I've already commented on how great that part of the game is. Why not comment on the combat and gameplay? It's alright. Flawed, but I still liked it. Enemy hitboxes can be strange sometimes, in that you need to be quite precise in order to hit an enemy. Once, I managed to shove an enemy through a wall, making them fall through the map. I could not progress further until they despawned. It's also in this part of the game where I noticed the sound can be hit or miss. Have a listen. I love it when my footsteps sounds spontaneously disappear. Anyways, you get 3 different melee weapons to fight with, a sword, a spear, and a hammer, and you can upgrade them throughout. You also have a ranged attack, but I didn't use it much. A meter at the bottom right of the screen gradually charges up over time, and when it's full, you can press Q for an ultimate attack, spinning around like a top for a few seconds, and that's it. It's the same for all melee weapons. Another minor complaint I had was the fact that I couldn't get my controller to work with this. Not really a big deal since it plays okay with mouse and keyboard, but there's also no way to rebind any of the controls. The camera mode and zoom function are completely superfluous, and there's no real penalty for dying. When you die, all that happens is you getting sent back to the last checkpoint you crossed. No respawned enemies or anything like that. The level continues on like nothing happened, and it makes the game kinda easy as a result. Maybe too easy. Even during the Homeros boss fight, dying does not reset Homeros' health bar, meaning you can throw yourself to the damaged sponge that is Homeros and whack him enough times until he's dead. Oh yeah, about that boss fight. Did I mention that Homeros has 3 phases, that one of his attacks is summoning tornadoes, and that you get to ride him at one point while smacking him around? Okay game, you get another point just for the fact that you get to ride Homeros. Once he's dead, the game's over. Credits roll, you get to say hi to all the Puri again, and you get a stats screen telling you how good you did. Honestly, this was not intended as any kind of in-depth review or analysis of SkyIsland. I don't consider myself a game reviewer, but this video kinda wound up sounding like such. Then again, you could argue that my video about the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is similar to this. Like I said, I needed a quick idea for this week's video. Something I can make in an afternoon and evening, so why not a ramble about a game that's been sitting in my Steam library while I keep making progress on the content I really want to make? A game I knew was going to be short and easy for me to talk about, even before I started playing it. A game I wound up enjoying despite all its flaws. That's the best way I can sum up SkyIsland. It has its problems, but it's still really fun. If you're bored and have an hour to waste, this is a good way to waste that hour. There weren't any game-breaking bugs, well, almost no game-breaking bugs. It's solid, and I wish this game's developers nothing but the best. If any of them are watching, I hope they take my comments to heart. On a different note, YouTube's algorithm overlords hate when small fry like me stop uploading new content regularly, and I did not want to skip this week despite all the craziness that happened. Craziness worthy of a vlog even. Still, there are ways to help me please the algorithm overlords. You can do all the typical supporting people on YouTube things. Sharing this video, hitting that like button, subscribing to my channel, and even leaving a comment if you want. I also have a Patreon and a Ko-fi that you can throw some money at, and a Discord server you can join. Links to all of those are in the description. As I keep saying in my outros, you don't have to throw money at me, but every little bit helps me keep making videos like this, no matter how good or bad they turn out. Thank you for watching, take care of yourselves, and goodbye for now.